and make sure that window of time works, right? If you got to send the kids away for a night, send them away for the night. Because when we were dating in the world, expectations were we go out on a date and look, I'm expecting something at the end of the night. Now that it's legal, I'm really expecting something at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? You coming home with me. I ain't even got to think about that. So
it feels good, y'all. Just feels so good to be alive. Just to breathe this air free of charge. It just feels good to be in Christ, you know. Just to know that he got me and he got you. It feels good.
I'm blessed. Every morning that I rise, got my health and my strength. Thank the Lord that I'm alive. I'm blessed.
Welcome to Excellent Husbands Podcast, the podcast for husbands by husbands. We're your hosts. I'm Pastor Saleem Wright.
And I'm Pastor Tim Baldwin.
And we appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode of Excellent Husbands Podcast.
Yes.
All right. So this is our week three, our third episode. We appreciate everyone who's listened to the first two. Excited about episode 3 and what we're going to do. And so, my good brother, how you feeling today?
I'm good, man. I can't complain, man. How about you, brother?
I'm good. I would complain, but it ain't going, ain't gonna solve nothing.
You already know. So, you already know, man. You already know my school woes, so I won't hit the people with that. But you know my school woes right now.
Listen, I'll be back in that saddle in September. So, but good deal.
Wow.
Good deal. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yes,
so
sir.
we are starting off with trending topics. And it's the NBA playoffs, man. NBA playoffs are busy, active. You know, we got great teams that are playing, and so you know, we Philly fans, but you know, how you feeling about the playoffs, man? How you feeling about the playoffs?
Man, Philly all the way, man. 4-5-4, man. 4-5. I don't know. Folks watch. I don't know if they're old enough to remember that.
I know,
but
right?
I don't know. You know, we got a great chance, man. We got a great chance to make some noise, man. We're gonna see. We're gonna see after this series is over with the Wizards, Washington Wizards, and see what happens, man. But I think we got a good shot.
Yep.
At going to the finals. You know, I think we have a great shot to go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
And I think we have a really good shot going to the NBA Finals. You know, the Nets is going to be, it's going to be a tough squad, but you can't count out Milwaukee, because Milwaukee and the Nets are going to be playing next, man.
Right.
And whoever comes out of that series, they're going to be beat up real good. And I think that'll bode well for us, man.
I think Milwaukee could beat them. I'm not even gonna hold you. I think Milwaukee could beat them, because I feel like Drew Holiday, man, he's elite. He's elite, especially elite defender. I feel like Giannis and KD is a wash, and so it's just Middleton and Harden. I mean, Harden is better, but I don't know, man. I feel like Milwaukee. I don't know.
And they're more physical too, man. They're more physical team too. So it's gonna be. Listen, that's the series that I really want to see.
Yep.
I really want to see that series, and I really want to see whoever comes out of that. I want to see our squad play whoever comes out of that, man. And man. Our boys are balling, man. So we'll see.
What it is, man. We should sweep the Wizards, get them up out of there.
Yes, sir. Play either New York or Atlanta. I think Atlanta is going to pull this one out.
I'm with you on that one. I
don't think New York is quite ready. New York is scrappy, man. New York gave us a problem on defense, though. They really gave us a problem. We beat them, but they gave us a problem on defense, man. So they're a little scrappy. Thibodeau, he a good coach, and so
he a good coach. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
And they got some goons on that squad too.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, there's so many fake
goons,
tough guys in the league, man. I'm like, okay, they will see.
Yeah,
we'll see, man.
These
fans getting out of hand. I know you saw it happen with Russ.
Oh
with
man,
the popcorn.
Yeah,
man.
that was definitely
crazy,
uncalled for. The one thing I wish would have happened is that they would have showed his face. The fans' face. You did it in public. You should be publicly, ostracized for. Absolutely, man. So I think they were trying to protect his identity, but
probably. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody said we don't want another Malice in the Palace, and I heard somebody say yes, we do, because then maybe people stop doing that. You let Russ up in them stands. it's a different animal or something.
Yeah,
so
it's a different animal. And he said something that was key. You would never do that to an NBA player if you see him on the street in person.
Right.
You would never do that.
Right.
Especially to a cat like Russ.
Come on now.
Like, as angry as Russ is, like, you might not even acknowledge him if you see him in person. But yeah, man,
I met him in person too. I met him.
Is that right? He's probably a nice guy.
He was cool. He's at Cheesecake Factory. I think he was on a date. Okay. With my pastor. I was like, yo, that's Russell Westbrook. I said, oh man. So we went over to him. Like, oh man, we like your game. And that's when he was with OKC. He was real cool.
That was a while ago.
Real cool, man. So that was a minute ago.
Yeah, he's gotten angrier since the OKC days.
I would too, man. Y'all throwing stuff on me, man. I'll be angry too. So.
Yes, sir.
Cool. But man, that's our trending topic, man. Tune into the NBA playoffs, but we're gonna get right into our subject matter. And today,
come on, man.
Today's topic is dating your mate, dating your spouse. What's that's going to look like when it comes to
date your mate.
Date your mate. Date your mate. Yeah, man. So excited about this topic. So when we talk about dating our mate, what does that look like? What should it look like? How we can do it, how we can make it practical. Everybody's at different stages in their life, particularly, with younger couples without kids. It's probably a lot easier to navigate dates than older couples with kids. And then when your kids are much older, what does dating your spouse look like? So we're going to tackle the subject. And I guess the first question to kick it over to you, my brother, is when it comes to dating your mate, I guess what are some of the challenges that need to be overcome when it comes to dating your mate? From your perspective?
The first challenge is laziness and complacency. I'm gonna get right at it, man.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get right at it. Jump on it.
You listen. You got 11 years in, probably 12 and some change altogether, because of your courtship. You know what I mean? I'm going on 18 and a half years. Altogether 17 in marriage, and just from my own experience, some of the things. One of the major hangups. You said something a little earlier of families, and our, family dynamic has a lot to do with it, obviously, especially if you have young children,
right?
That kind of deal, working, school, all of those dynamics. But sometimes what happens in marriage is that we become complacent in the relationship. You can be with someone for so long that you almost lose not your desire or your passion, but you forget what it was like to really pursue them. And the excitement, for men, like pursuit is exciting for us. Right. It's like, the thrill of the chase. And then once we get it, sometimes we become complacent, just to be honest with you, because I've experienced those lulls in my own relationship with my wife, and my wife would have to pull my coattail and say, hey, yo, listen, I still need you to, to take me out, mommy and dime me sometime, and so, when life happens, sometimes you become complacent and comfortable with the relationship. It's almost like, I got it now. Why do I have to keep pursuing it? And so in order, I think, to help keep the continuity of your marriage intact, I think there should be some level of pursuit throughout your marriage. I think there should be some level of pursuit, not just, I got her, I got him, and again, obviously this is for husbands, brothers. If we're going to be excellent husbands, then we have to maintain, some of the things at least that we did prior to getting married, so that we keep the marriage fresh. We keep the juices flowing, the fire burning. If you're going to have a long-term relationship, then you got to do some things that's going to keep you on the cutting edge of, being in love and excitement and hanging out and all those things. For me, my wife and I, we love to hang out. She's better at it than I am. I think that's probably the case in most cases. I think brothers who are better at it is probably the exception and not the rule. And I think most men, again, brothers, I'm not putting a blanket on us, but I think most men have a more difficult time with, with that piece, especially that like romantic, piece there. So, but that's what I would say, man. Yeah, that would be my intro, brother.
Yeah, man. That's yeah, man. I felt that one. That's the truth, man. My personality does not lend itself to initiating wanting to go with the whole hanging out, and I'd rather
right.
chill, stay at home, like
Right.
relax. Like, why we gotta go somewhere? Like, I'm I'm
Right.
more of a just let me stick to myself type of deal. So yeah, I can understand that for sure. I think also to help brothers out, the intentionality has to be there, because that complacency, especially if you're like, oh, I got her. Like, you did all that work to get her, and then she's here, she ain't going nowhere, and she'll go along to get along for a period of time, but after a while,
eventually
she's like, yo, what's up? Like, we ain't been on a date in I don't know how long. And so one of the things we put in place during our courtship was establishing what our date night was. So before everything, we said our date night is on Thursdays. And we knew how things were going as far as ministry wise and stuff we were doing every Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And we said, okay, Thursday, we looked at it like people usually don't go out on Thursdays. It's probably easier to just get a babysitter on a Thursday. And this is before kids. We were like, all right, let's just pick Thursday and make it our date night. And to this day, that's been our date night is Thursdays. We don't always get to go somewhere or do something, but we know at minimum this is date night. And so let's try not to schedule anything on a Thursday. So if we just have in this night where we stay in and watch a movie, all right, at least we had that intimacy time together.
Is that really a date, though? Is that really a date?
It's not a date. It's not a date. It's like a date light.
Okay.
It's a date light.
No, listen.
Right? The reason why it's not a date, bro, right? And I had to learn this is because a date requires you to set an appointment that you actually are going to do something, not a consolation prize. So it's not a date.
So if you set an appointment to watch a movie and chill, is that not a date?
Netflix and chill with your wife, right? So is that a date? I think for a brother, that's a great date.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
But I think for a brother, that's a great date. I think for the sister, she's like, this ain't no date. Like, no. Okay.
Right.
You know, they want planning into it. They want, like, you scheduled the babysitter, you worked everything out. They want, like, okay, what restaurant did you pick, or what activity? Like, women want to know, like, you actually put some work into this. It could count as a date if you consistently have the other type of dates, because sometimes your schedule doesn't lend itself to be able to go out. Can't get a babysitter, somebody's not feeling well, you know, or I worked late on a Thursday or whenever your date night is, right? I work late or whatever. So I think it could lend itself to a date if that's not the norm. If that becomes the norm, you're not dating, you know, you're just trying to get away with the bare minimum.
Got you. All right. That's what I was asking. You know, that's what I was asking. It was a season in my marriage where, you know, I would have to ask my wife, like, yo, are we on a date right now? Or
I know, I'm trying to get credit. Credit.
Or we just hanging out, right?
Right. Yeah. Let me know.
But like you, I had to be, you know, my wife had to really help me understand.
Yeah.
You know, coming from a place where I was coming from, my wife had to help me understand, like, hey, listen, here's what a date is. Like you said, you set a time, you set an activity. You know, and like you said, sometimes that time and activity can be a night in,
right?
You know, where we have a dinner and you know, in home, and we Netflix and chill, and you know, that's a good time too. But if we relegate ourselves to that every date night, then it's just you know, it's time together. I'm not coming at it. Right. You know, I'm not scoffing at it, but it's not a real date. And so brothers, listen to me, brothers.
Come on now.
Brothers, get out your Visa card, get out your debit card.
Listen, you're going to have to invest, man. You're going to have to invest.
Right. Talk. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. It's you know, you gotta plan, and you know, you have to make sure that, you know, again, I'm not the romantic type. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not the hold the hands, hugging public, you know, public displays of affection. I'm not one of those cats. But my wife likes some of that stuff, and so I had to learn how to do that for her.
Right.
so that she gets what she needs out of the marriage,
Right.
and not just a husband who's, just present in the home,
Right.
and so yeah, you got to plan, get your Visa card out, plan something nice. And I say this, at least once a month, plan something really nice. And then you could kind of plan some smaller things during the month,
Right.
Netflix and chill,
Yeah.
a date night out at a local restaurant, nothing fancy, because there are some things that I believe that happens in terms of, how date nights benefit the marriage,
Right.
you know,
Yeah. Yep.
and so yeah, I would definitely say that you got to be intentional about it. And my wife has taught me, man. I'm trained. I'm well trained. Sometimes because of life, my wife still has to pull my coattail.
Right.
But I recognize what my wife needs in terms of my time away from everything and everybody else. You and I both pastor churches, and so we have to share our lives, and so much that goes into planning a date night, kids, and obviously you have younger kids, so I'm a little past that season of my
Jesus.
life. Bless the Lord, bless the Lord. Uh, but but yeah, so a lot goes into it. However, brothers, you gotta push yourself. You gotta push yourself to be a blessing to your wife in terms of hanging out and going out on a date. See what it is that she likes, and again, one of the things, brothers, that you have to know what your wife likes. What does she like?
Yeah.
Like, what makes your wife tick?
Yep.
What makes her come alive, man?
Yep.
Whatever makes her come alive, do that.
Yep. Yeah, that's crucial. That is crucial. And that requires you to really investigate, to know, to study, to understand your wife. So that way you can know what her love languages are. You can know what her turn-ons are. You can know what her turn-offs are. I know my wife's love language is acts of service and gifts. She loves gifts. I know that. I know she loves surprises. So these are three things I've learned over time, what she likes and what she loves. So once you know these are things that can help you when it comes to pursuing your wife. Because I think what often we forget is that there's the pursuit to marriage, and then there's the pursuit to keep the marriage. Because a lot of times what brothers forget is that you still have to be wooing and pursuing your spouse. Like, it's something that, you're going to have to really be cognizant of. And it's easy to forget that. And that's one of the benefits of date night, is to let your wife know, I'm still interested in you. I still want you, right? Because we can make the excuse of job, kids, ministry, work or vocation or hobbies, or the business or whatever. We can make all those the excuses as to why we're not pursuing our wife. But at the end of the day, there's still excuses. So one of the benefits of date night is that pursuit, your wife feeling pursued by you, because it can rekindle stuff. Especially for marriages that you've been together for so long, or you feel like you've been together for so long. It's like, man, like we just going through the motions. We going through I done met couples ain't been married a year, but because they got so much stuff that they had to deal with before getting married, they feel like they're an old married couple. And I'm like, you got to start implementing some stuff to help kind of shake that off. And I think date night is one of those things that could be a benefit to your marriage. And I guess I'll ask you from your perspective, what are other benefits you see from date night for a man listening to this, a husband listening to this, say, okay, I hear you about the date night, but what do I get out of it, or how does it benefit my marriage when it comes to the date night?
So you talked about rekindling. That's one of the things, date night really can rekindle. But here's what I would really hazard against, right? If you have to rekindle something, you're almost in trouble.
Wow.
Right? Like, you're almost in trouble. You're almost in that gray area where, okay, it's like, okay, you could go left or right. Because if you go so long, and you talk about, it's hard to do. It's not impossible to do, but it's very difficult to do after so long of not, doing a particular thing, loving one another. But one of the other things, and that's a great point, Pastor Saleem, one of the other things is that it really deepens our communication, right? It helps our communication. One of the things that my wife and I do every anniversary, her and I sit down and we talk about where we are in our marriage. Like we do, this is like our yearly checkup. And so we've been doing it every year since we got married, and we'll say, where are we? What do you need to improve? What do I need to improve? How do we progress in our marriage and continue to grow and get better? And so I think date nights afford you those kind of opportunities, away from everything and everybody, away from the kids, away from the responsibilities. One of the things is my wife, she makes me take my phone, turn it off, turn it upside down, you know, and we can communicate and we can really talk. And so I think it really opens up that door of communication for you and your wife, and it allows you to really talk on the level where sometimes it's tough in the rigmarole of the day. I think communication is important, and we need to make it a habit and make it a normal thing.
Yep.
But date nights afford those kind of opportunities, depending on what it is. If it's a movie, obviously not. But if it's a dinner, you know, you can still enjoy dinner and your date night talking about you know, significant topics in your marriage. They don't have to be, you know, everything doesn't have to be super deep, but it helps you to communicate and brings you into a space of communication. And the other thing too is really going out and being with your spouse. Really, I believe it really helps you enjoy like a higher level of a relationship, right? Because of that connectivity. Because, you know, so as you know, being in the home is one thing. But that's like your regular environment. It's just like you laying around, you got your pajamas on, she got hers on, she got, you know, she got big mama drawers on, you know what I mean? We just we just chilling in the crib. But when you go out, there is a level of intentionality that goes along with it, right? Getting dressed,
especially,
you know,
for her,
haircut.
She
especially
gonna
for her.
try to come sexy when y'all go out. She gonna try to, you know, if you want to see your wife looking right, like, all right, I got this big fancy date plan. She gonna come correct. She gonna come correct.
Absolutely.
She not gonna come out with the rap that she usually have on.
Well,
or whatever.
She better not. She gonna get left.
Brother, I'm putting all this money out. You tripping? You better come looking right. Yeah.
So yeah. I would say that, and one of the last things I would say too, and this is not a comprehensive list, obviously, but I believe that going on dates relieves stress in your marriage. That's a big. If you got kids, listen. If you're married, you're gonna have stress because you got bills, you got responsibilities, you got life happens, you know, and then you add the kids onto it, and then you add all of the other dynamics that you may add on to it. I think that going out on a date, man, really allows you to let your hair down and to relieve some stress in the relationship. Sometimes you just, you know, one thing I want to do with my wife, and we've not done it yet, I want to go axe throwing. I want to go throw axes, man. I'm watching everybody do this, you know, throwing axes. It's not her thing, but she'll go because I like it, because I compromise with her.
Is it's not a her date, or is that a you date?
Yeah, that's a me date. And listen, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing, that there are times where we're both going to do things that benefits the other person more.
I agree.
Than you at times. And so the compromise is always going to be, it's always there, and it's always necessary. Yeah.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly, because what husbands have to understand, because we're leading our spouses, we play a huge role in helping them understand us, right? And helping them understand how we tick, what we like, what we dislike, right? Because we don't expect to be mind readers. Some things our wives will be like, I just thought you knew. No, I don't know. But your wife may not know you really like axe throwing or miniature golf, or you really like going to a game, or you really like even playing video games. And so stuff like that, like she might like, I didn't know that about you. So planning a date around something you like would maybe help her see you in a different light. She'd be like, oh, I didn't even know you could dance. Like, oh yeah, I love to dance. And take her, you know, salsa dancing or something like that. So I think that's a great way to expose your wife to things about you that you may have never exposed before, things you used to do that you've forgotten about, you know, things like that. I think is crucial to helping breed that intimacy, for sure. Yeah,
that's key. And my question would be, brothers, do your wives know what you like? Do they know what you like? Have you allowed them into your world enough for them to be able to plan something that will really bless you and not even be about them, right? Because my wife does things for me sometimes that she'll never do on her own, right? But she'll plan it and we'll go through with it and it'll be a great time. I'll do the same thing. She's more of the planner than I am. You know, I'm like, listen, you plan, I'll pay, right?
Yep.
If I plan, you pay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
But at the end of the day, you're right. It does open up those kind of doors and allows us to experience a different level of intimacy and different level of, you know, what is it that you like, brothers? Do your wife know your hobbies? You know, I think that we should have things that we enjoy that our spouses don't enjoy, but then I think there should be things that we enjoy together.
Right.
You know, whatever that might be, you know, I have a hobby. I sort of kind of made it a hobby for my whole house now, you know, bike riding. We ride bikes, but you know, I have some things I do outside of that is just really for me. But then that's something that we do together, and we love it. And so I think that's important. You're so on point with that. That there has to be a level of, okay, I know what my husband likes, brothers. You gotta open your mouth and tell your wives what you like. You shouldn't be married for 5 years and your wife can't plan something for you that you like, something that you're passionate about, something that you really love to do. And so that poses a different kind of challenge when she doesn't even know. I don't even know what to do for this guy. You know, I don't even know how to play. I don't know how to plan a date for him. You know, outside of going to dinner, I don't know what he likes. You know, so brothers, you gotta communicate. That's one of our next topics. We won't get into that
the communication
today.
crucial.
Yeah, that communication piece. But yeah, so I definitely agree with that. That we should be planning those times and, you know, those outings that not only that she likes, but things that I like as well. And she should be well informed about what it is that I like, you know. And so, you know, one more thing I would add is that date night really allows us to strengthen our commitment with one another. You know, listen, brother, we can say whatever we want. Date night is work. Like getting there, yo, can I just be real? Can I keep it a bit with you?
Yes.
Can I just to all my brothers out there? I know it's work getting there. To me, I love, brothers, hear me. I love hanging out with my wife. And for me, I don't have to plan a night out. My wife and I can get up and go and have a burger at Whole Food and just chill, hang out. And that's my
I wish
wheelhouse.
that counted as a date, an official date. Like,
right? I love it.
Like,
right? I don't need to, you know, I don't need to plan a big, you know, I don't, you know, that's not my thing. That's her thing. She likes to do it, so I do it with her, obviously. But it really allows you to strengthen that commitment. Because brothers, listen, brothers, you gotta spend time with your wife.
Yeah, man.
You have to spend exclusive time with her and with her alone.
We have a challenge for our marriage ministry that the couples have to spend 15 hours a week undivided time. Undivided time means there's nothing you can be doing that shall distract you from the other person.
Sleeping in the same bed.
Nah, y'all have to be intentional about like that communication piece, but that undivided time. And you'd be surprised, you know, because I know we're with our wives a lot, but even as much time as I spend with my wife, we started tracking it. I was like, yo, we're in the same room a lot, but we're not necessarily even talking to each other. You know what I mean? It's bro, like I'm with you all the time. To the
end. How you gonna bring that up at the end, bro? How you
Because this is why date night is helpful. Because if it's well planned, if it has to be well planned. It has to be well planned out so that the beginning and the end of the date are neither one is rushed. Because a lot of times, if you don't plan it out well, you'll be looking at the clock like, oh, we got to get home by X amount of time, right?
Right.
Especially for the people that have kids. Plan it out so it doesn't. You're not rushing to end the date. because that's part of that undivided, high quality time, which builds the intimacy in your marriage, which really builds it.
Yeah.
So I would encourage any brother listening and watching to say, hey man, if once you embark on this date night piece, like my brother Pastor Tim said, it's going to take work, strategic planning, a budget for it, and make sure that window of time works, right? If you got to send the kids away for a night, send them away for the night. Because when we were dating in the world, expectations were we go out on a date and look, I'm expecting something at the end of the night. Now that it's legal, I'm really expecting something at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? You coming home with me. I ain't even got to think about that. So plan it out so you can open and close the date like you really want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, bro, what a good topic, man. What a good topic. I'm kind of mad you brought that piece up at the end because we could have spent a little bit more time, talking about that.
I just thought about it. I just thought about it. We could spend
a little bit more time, but we'll revisit it, man. So, again, a good topic, good content, and so we pray that that this topic and this content helped you brothers out, because we are learning and growing to be excellent husbands, brothers. Date your wives, man.
Date them.
Date your wives. Plan it. Whether it's financially, timing, get rid of the kids. And have I think some of the best date nights is getting rid of the kids. So when you come home, it's just you and your wife.
Yes, those are phenomenal.
And you could do that once a month at least, brothers. Treat your wife, do some of the things that you did in the beginning of your marriage to pursue and to catch her. And now that you have her, continue your pursuit. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, brothers, for watching Excellent Husbands and listening to Excellent Husbands podcast. You can follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, well, not all, but Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. If this is your first time watching, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like the notification bell on YouTube so you could get more information about Excellent Husbands. We're your hosts, Pastor Saleem Wright and my brother, Pastor Tim Baldwin. And until we meet you guys, again, God bless.
Be blessed.
It feels good, y'all. Just feels so good to be alive. Just to breathe this air free of charge. It just feels good to be in Christ, Just to know that He got me and He got you. It feels good.
I'm blessed. Every morning that I rise, got my health and my strength. Thank the Lord that